In today's scoop, we talk about KGF making a comeback. No, not the movie, but the actual gold fields that are just a couple of hours away from Bengaluru. What if we tell you that a former gold mine could be a massive source of renewable energy? Sounds insane, right? Well, last week the Hindu published quite an unusual story. It said that an Australian firm called Green Gravity has a wild idea to revive the defunct Kolar goldfields of Karnataka. For over 120 years, KGF was the pride of India. It was the world's second deepest gold mine and produced 95% of India's gold at one point. But it fell into disarray in the 2000s. The costs of mining were too exorbitant and it wasn't generating enough money. KGF was abandoned. But a radical idea might just be able to turn its fortune around. KGF might just get a new lease of life as a battery storage facility. How, you ask? Let's begin with the concept of energy. Remember the physics class in school when the teacher said, energy can neither be created nor destroyed, only converted from one form of energy to another. Well, it simply meant that everything around you has some form of energy. Always. For instance, just look at those books on the top of your shelf. They might seem like inanimate objects. But they actually have something called gravitational potential energy. It's the energy stored thanks to its elevated position. Now give them a little nudge. Tip them onto the floor. Suddenly, this energy is converted into kinetic energy. This is the kind of energy that can be used to generate electricity. Now think about the KGF mines, which in some cases are 3 kilometers deep. Imagine that you take a massive cement block that weighs 40 tons. You use a motorized pulley and lift it to the top. And you don't need traditional electricity to do the pulling. You can rely on solar energy or wind energy to work the pulley. And once you stack a bunch of blocks at the top, they're all bursting with gravitational potential energy. Then, when you need power, say when the sun has turned in for the night, you drop the cement blocks. We're not saying that it'll be dropped for the entire 3 kilometers in freefall. But, a calculated drop to a certain extent. When it falls, the latent gravitational energy is converted into kinetic energy. This can then be used to power turbines and generators. And voila, you have electricity. All you need is an abandoned old mine. And a bunch of cement blocks. The deeper and broader the mine, the more power you can extract. And the larger the mine, the more the energy storage capacity. But why could this be quite the game changer, you ask? Well, one of the biggest hurdles we have in the shift towards renewable energy is figuring out how to store it all. Take solar energy. It's the most abundant energy source out there. On average, 173,000 terawatts of solar energy hits the Earth continuously. And that's 10,000 times more than what the world's current energy needs. But the sun doesn't shine bright every day. And well, it sets at night too, like clockwork. During these times, we can't just postpone our energy needs, no? We need to find a way to store it in batteries for future use. That's the only way we can beat nature's vagaries and use it day and night. In rain or sun. But deploying large-scale battery solutions for solar is still quite cost-prohibitive. So it can't really be used to power entire cities easily. So that's out of the question for now. Then we have the ever-popular lithium-ion, Li-ion, batteries. The kind that runs electric vehicles. But on a large scale, they have their own issues. For starters, there's the cost. It's still not cheap and can cost around $370 per megawatt hour, MWH, over its lifetime. For perspective, 1 milliwatt hour of power can run 2 refrigerators for a year. Also, these batteries aren't exactly known for their long life. Frequently charging and discharging them could keep their life as short as 3 to 5 years. Just think about your mobile phone battery and how quickly it begins to underperform. Besides, a single Li-ion battery may not be able to store beyond 4 hours of charge at a time. And it also uses a lot of elements like lithium, nickel, and copper, which will deplete over time. And that's where these gravity batteries have a huge advantage. Just think about it. They're just large gravel blocks made up of cement. That means it's not high maintenance and the whole setup could probably last up to 50 years. And when researchers calculated the costs, they came up with a very low figure. They believe it'll cost just $170 for 1 megawatt hour of electricity. That's less than half of the lithium-ion alternative. Also, Storing big blocks isn't a problem since we're just using abandoned mines. Just look at India, which has at least 250 unused coal mines that could do with a new lease of life. And across the world, there are over 1 million of them. But wait, it can't all be sunshine and butterflies, no? Well, for starters, these are mechanical contraptions that could break easily and the costs may prove prohibitive. There's also the fact that we have very little evidence to show that gravity batteries can scale and offer energy sustainably. It may work well for very specific applications. But as a broad solution to our energy problem? That is a tall ask. So yeah, there's never going to be a perfect solution. But this wacky idea does seem promising. And if the Indian government okays green gravity's idea, not only would it be a step towards large-scale renewable power use, but it could also have the advantage of reviving KGF and spur the employment of at least part of the 2.5 lakh people who reside there. If you like today's story, please like it, share it with your friends and subscribe the channel for latest top stories.